Wild boars don't move randomly. They don't appear out of sudden hunger or wander into fields by accident. Every footprint in the mud, every patch of upturned soil is the trace of a habit repeated night after night. At precise times, along familiar trails, the herd quietly leaves the forest, weaving through low trees toward harvested fields. Recognizing these recurring patterns is key to designing safe, responsible, and effective long-term control measures before damage occurs. After nights of observation, patterns emerge. Boars move in groups, always with a lead boar scouting the path. This lead individual doesn't rush into the fields. It stops, sniffs the wind, listens. Only when the environment is calm does the herd follow out of the forest. This behavior is not random. It's survival instinct developed over time. That's why effective control programs always begin with observation, not hasty intervention.
Because hogs are very...
Direct pursuit often backfires. Noise scatters the herd, expands the area of intrusion, and increases risk to nearby residents. Modern control focuses on guiding behavior rather than confrontation. Net traps were chosen for their flexibility and adaptability to terrain. Crucially, this method allows precise control over numbers within a pre-planned area without causing panic or destabilizing the surrounding environment. A common mistake is placing traps along fast escape routes. The most effective placement is where the herd tends to pause, familiar feeding grounds, post-harvest fields, or open spaces at forest edges they often return to. The net is preset during the day, appearing open and familiar. From a distance, it blends naturally with the terrain, avoiding any sense of being blocked or forced. Feed is spread from the outer edge inward, guiding the boars seamlessly into the center. At night, the herd arrives as predicted. The lead boar enters first, cautiously checking the surroundings, then begins foraging. The trap's effectiveness comes not from sudden reactions, but from understanding and leveraging the herd's natural nocturnal rhythm, foundational to behavior-based control. In low-lying, damp fields, boars often stop to wallow and cool off. These are moments when they are least alert, offering the best opportunity to manage the herd with minimal stress, reducing risk of chaotic reactions. Between cultivated areas, where the herd pauses before scattering, net traps prevent widespread damage across multiple fields. This approach reduces both labor and costs for farmers, while minimizing the need for heavy-handed intervention.
Look at that trap, y'all. No,
The next morning, no new tracks appear. The usual trails are empty. and the previous point of entry is noticeably calm. Specialized vehicles are deployed to transport the captured boars under licensed wildlife management protocols. The process strictly follows community safety, legal, and environmental regulations. Data is recorded to support long-term monitoring and prevent reinfestation. Afterward, traps and surrounding areas are carefully dismantled, leaving no trace that could attract other herds. Net traps are not about showing force. They re-establish boundaries. When familiar paths are no longer safe, wild boars must adjust their behavior. This adjustment reduces pressure on crops, farms, and human livelihoods. Control is not confrontation. It's proactive boundary management, where humans manage shared spaces before damage forces reactive measures. Like and subscribe to follow our journey in protecting this land.
Hear that gate, Chip. look at that. Pretty tough, huh?
Night falls. A residential neighborhood should be quiet. Instead, an urgent call comes in. A sounder of wild hogs is moving deeper into the area, following fences, trash bins, and the same paths people use every day. This is a clear sign that the boundary between wilderness and human living space has been broken. And once that line is crossed, response time is no longer measured in days, but in hours. It's time to act, now. Camera footage shows the boars moving with purpose. No panic, no hesitation. That tells us one thing: they're already comfortable here. Once wild boars start treating a neighborhood as a safe food source, chasing them off doesn't solve the problem. It only shifts their schedule or sends them down a different street. They don't disappear. This is the danger zone, where one wrong decision can raise the risk fast. Traffic accidents, attacks on pets and livestock, even direct threats to residents. Wild boars aren't afraid of lights. Noise doesn't scare them off easily. They adapt fast. And every safe return becomes a green light for the next night, each time bolder than the last. In a residential setting, there's only one option that's both effective and controllable: a heavy-duty steel circular corral trap, a tool widely used for wild hog management across many US states. The trap is set on open ground bordering the neighborhood, right along the boar's established nighttime travel route. The circular design eliminates blind corners. There's nothing to brace against, no weak angle to break out. Once triggered, there's no exit. Everything inside becomes a closed control zone, large enough to contain the entire sounder, and crucially, prevent panic from spilling into the neighborhood. The bait is simple: food the boars already trust. It's placed dead center, deep enough that they have to commit fully and step all the way inside. No rushing, no force. In wildlife control, patience at this stage determines 90% of the outcome. The boars must believe this is just another safe feeding spot, right up until everything is already under control. When the final boar steps in, the automatic trigger engages. The gate drops in an instant. Every exit is sealed. No escapes. No panicked animals charging through residential streets. No situation spiraling out of control. This is the biggest advantage of an automatic circular corral trap. The threat ends right where it stands, without being pushed somewhere else. After the trap is sprung, camera systems show no further wild boar movement around the neighborhood. Paths are clear again. Guards are safe. Shared living spaces return to normal. The success of this operation isn't measured by how many boars were captured, but by the accidents that never happened, the families who slept through the night, and a neighborhood that didn't turn into a danger zone after dark. Controlling wild boars in residential areas isn't extreme. It's prevention. It's about protecting people, property, and the rhythm of community life. When set in the right place, at the right time, for the right reason, a circular corral trap ends the threat decisively, safely, responsibly. Not with recklessness, but with strategy, discipline, and absolute priority on public safety. If you want to keep following real-world field operations like this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay with us for the next episode.